Alright, people. I hope this piece of shit camera holds out. It's a piece of shit. It's a Kodak PlayTouch, and I'm fucking over it. Like, the fucking touchscreen's all fucked up. Anyway, I'm not going to get into my Kodak speech. Figured it was time for another how-to video. I haven't done one in a while. I don't know how good I am at them. I try to do them the simplest way I can explain things. They seem simple in my brain, but I remember back when I just started audio, and this shit, you know, somebody would tell me something that's just so simple to them, and it was not simple to me at all. Like, there was little minor details that people won't say because they forget about them, and I try to kind of think of those details, but I also do some videos that just fucking spur of the moment kind of shit. But, you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Got me a whiskey and Coke over there, old Jim Beam and Pepsi. Now you might be thinking to yourself, what's that got to do with the fucking video on how to hook up some batteries? Well, I'll tell you what it has to do with it. Fucking absolutely nothing. It's fucking 4 o'clock. I was coming out to make a video, and I was like, hey, you know, I've had this whiskey sitting up here for a while, so why not fucking drink some of it? I don't know. Because I can. Because I fucking can. Anyway, you bitches want to know how to hook up some multiple batteries, right? So I'm going to tell you how I hook up multiple batteries. Now, everybody's different. Everybody's got their own opinions. This motherfucker does this over here. Oh, bitch, you fucking got to do this over here. You didn't fucking do... Hey, man, fuck you. This is how I do my shit. And I ain't blown nothing up yet. So I think that's always a plus. If you do something and you had it hooked up like that for, you know, a little while, I don't know, a month or two or so, and you ain't got nothing to catch on fire, I don't know, that's really a bad thing to say. Don't fucking do stupid shit. Anyway, this is how I'm going to explain it here. Now, I got this on paper because I think it's kind of complicated to go show, you know, in a car, and it's dark as fuck outside. If you want to see my batteries in my Civic, I actually have 5 batteries in the back, 1 up front. They're all the same kind of battery. You know, look back a few videos, and you know, it says Civic update, and you know, it'll say like new install in a day or some shit like that, and it shows my batteries. But anyway, here we go. Here's your battery under your hood. Say you got 2 batteries. There's one. Here's one back in your trunk or your hatch or whatever. Your front battery, you got it hooked up to your alternator, of course. You know, I didn't draw all that fucking line, blah blah. Do your big 3. Do your big 3 upgrade. Do it before you fuck with multiple batteries. And you start getting up in batteries, you got to remember, you need an alternator to push them batteries. Your 60 fucking amp alternator is not going to like charging a bunch of fucking batteries. It's going to sit there like a weak ass. Let's try it again. This piece of shit camera. It's probably going to shut off on me again because it's a piece of shit. Anyway, you need a bigger alternator. You start adding a bunch of fucking batteries. A couple batteries, whatever. A bunch of batteries. You got your big 3 done. You go down here to your fuse. If you run fuses, everybody's got their own opinion on fuses. Some people are badasses and don't run fuses. I did it for a year and didn't have any problems. I don't suggest doing it. It goes to your fuse, and then you run power wire right down here to your positive on here. And then, of course, that goes over to your amp. Same thing with your negative. You do it in parallel. And you're going to want extra ground on the side over here, because extra ground, always good. And then, you know, you run that battery, or that negative, over to your amp here. If you can see that all right there. So you just do it in parallel. You know, it's like parallel wiring on a subwoofer, from battery to battery. You do this in series, it's going to make 24 volts if you're using the 12 volt batteries. You don't want fucking 24 volts in audio unless you have the baddest fucking amp in the world. And I want to know what the fuck that is if you got it and it can take 24 volts. 24 volts, the only thing I've seen that in is hydraulics, airbags, yada yada yada. It's pretty cool to actually just see with my eyes. I don't know, something about stupid shit amazes me, but when you see a positive hooked to a negative, it just looks dangerous to me on batteries. But anyway, here's another example. You got the same thing going on here. Positive going down here, you positive. Oh, you got 2 batteries this time. Whoa, getting a little crazy. You need that alternator here, boys. You need that alternator. Go into your fuse. Go down. You go to the first battery. Then you go from that battery to this battery. Same thing with your negative. Down here, first battery, over here, don't forget your side ground here. Do it. Just fucking do it. And I like to try to even my my amplifiers out, especially my mono blocks. And, try to grab a middle spot here. So that way it's almost like it's sucking, from both batteries. Even though, I guess, in theory, when you hook all your batteries together, it makes like one big fucking battery. Or that's what I've been told anyway. I mean, it does, but, it just eases my mind to try to catch from the middle when I'm trying to, hook up my amplifier. So that way I feel like I'm grabbing from both sides, whether it's one whole fucking battery, and it don't matter if I'm hooking everything to one or not. Now, let me show you how my Civic's done real quick, just so I can show you what I got going on. Let's skip another page here. Here we go. Here we go. My Civic has D31 under the hood. It's an interstate battery, deep cycle. I'll get into that later. Upgraded alternator. I do have an upgraded alt, even though it's a piece of shit one from fucking eBay. Long story, I got a sweet deal on it from a guy I know, but it's better than my factory like 60 amp alt that comes on a Civic. Seriously, piece of shit, whatever. But it works better than the factory. I have my big 3 done. It's a must. I got it going to engine block ground, strut tower ground. And then I actually have 2 runs, a positive and negative coming down. And the main reason I'm doing that is because I actually had 4 runs of each when I had my car set up as a burp car. So, and you can grabs a little bit more power, maybe help you charge a little bit better from your alternator. But I got my 2 positives come down to one 300 amp fuse, and then them coming out of that down here. I have 5 batteries in the back in a box, and I have aluminum bus bars on the top that actually we drilled. My buddy Stoney, actually, he did a fucking good job. I don't have the patience for the shit, but we tried to line it up and drill holes perfectly to where all the batteries were like right next to each other, and the bar sits right on top. Now, it wasn't that fucking simple at all. It was a pain in the ass, but we kind of made it work. We did make it work. But I actually have aluminum bar that goes over top of all my negatives, and the bolt goes down through the bar and goes into the battery. Same with my positive. And it's hooked up around here somewhere for the positives and up in here for the negatives. And then I got my big boy amp kind of going in the middle of the positive and negative. I kind of did it stupid. I did not make a side ground. I should, but I did not, and it's been working all right. I do stupid shit like that. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. If you're young or something. There's a saying out there that says, "Do as I say, not as I do." Kind of how it's going here, folks. Do as I tell you. Don't do as I got things, because I do crazy, stupid shit sometimes that you shouldn't do. But that's my shit, and I take the fucking risk, and if it blows up, well, then fuck me. But anyhow, yeah, pretty simple, folks. I mean, in parallel, it's just parallel wiring. Your positives to your positive, your negative to your negatives. I got the bus bars going down here. Makes things simpler, makes it look a little pretty. But you can just, use wire. Just, wire from the negative here, and it'll be kind of a loop. Loop them on, hook them all together. All that shit together. And make sure your batteries do not slide around, yank wires out and shit. You don't want that to happen. You want your batteries secure in a battery box, or, do whatever you got to do to mount the battery. I don't give a fuck. Use fucking zip ties or fucking bungee cords, whatever you got to do to secure them batteries. You don't want that shit sliding around, pulling out a cord and then burning your fucking car down. Fuse or no fuse, I don't give a shit. You can burn shit down like that. I hope I made this simple enough for you. Hooking up multiple batteries. I know there's, who knows, probably, 50 other fucking videos to tell you how to do it. This is how I'm telling you how to do it. Using the old piece of paper in the shed at 4 o'clock in the morning. Got my little drop light out for this ordeal. This was special for you people. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's that fucking simple. Hook up multiple batteries. You got big amplifiers, you're not going to run fucking, you got a 4,000 watt amplifier. Oh, my fucking lights are dim and I need a battery capacitor. Fuck a fucking battery capacitor, man. Don't waste your money on that shit. I don't give a fuck what Joe Smo says. There is one way I would run a battery capacitor, and that way is if I was competing in a class that allowed, say, for example, 1 battery and a 5 farad cap. And say I was like burping. I was in a burp class. And say the guy I was competing against had me beat by like 0.5 decibels. I'd fucking try out a capacitor just to fucking beat him. Just to see if I can get that little tiny ass boost just to beat that guy. But honestly, I wouldn't even do that because I fucking just cannot stand wasting my money on a battery cap. I say if you're gonna, and that's my opinion. Don't flip out. Get your fucking panties out of a twist there, you capacitor loving motherfuckers. And whatever. But in my opinion, I have only had one capacitor. It was a half a farad piece of shit one, and that's not really the reason I fucking hate caps. It's just I see them as a waste of money. You go pay fucking $200 for your 50 farad fucking capacitor that lights up all blue and got your voltmeter. Save your money, buy a fucking battery, and buy you a fucking $25 Stinger voltmeter. You can get them in blue or red off of eBay. They're my favorite, work awesome. Or if you're even more poor, they sell like cheap voltmeters for like $8. Do it. Fuck the pretty lights. Put some fucking cheap neons in your car if you want the pretty lights and the flashy shit. But anyway, this is me signing out. I'm sober. Feel like Crazy Hair or Chuck saying that shit. Anyway, I said peace out, bitches. And fucking get loud, for fuck's sake. Will you please?